Okay, welcome back. Ah, crap, I forgot to set my phone. Hold on just a second, folks. I'm sorry, but, yeah, this will only take a second. Okay, 12 minutes. Okay, now what was I saying? Yeah, basically the Covenant is gonna come down on the ring world that you found a Helen. So, you have no other choice but to stand up and fight. And that's exactly what you do. You stand up and fight. So, it seems like the battle is at. You can't really judge whose manner it's to. And it seems like it's going in your way. Then you find out about a weapons cache that Covenant have. That the Covenant have. It's not a weapons cache. It's the home of something horrible. A parasite who craves you. Anything intelligent. Hey, in that silence, can y'all hear the rain? I mean, I know that's probably silly to say right now, but in the silence, can y'all actually hear the rain? Now, as I was saying, this parasite is unleashed. And guess who it all falls upon to fight it off? You. I'm talking about the Flood. So yeah, the game has a lot of twists and turns, and spoiler alert, the game ends in you destroying the Halo ring. Now, a lot of people will agree that I am overrating the game. Yeah, I gotta agree with you. I do overrate most of the Halo games. Except for Halo Reach. You know, aside from the multiplayer, which I love the multiplayer, but I couldn't stand the campaign. But yeah, Halo Combat Evolved, number 2, best game ever. Now, number 1, it doesn't even have a general story. It doesn't have guns. All it has is... No, I'm gonna stop it. I'm sorry, I can't go through with that. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you, not everybody loves this game. A lot of people think it's the one that came before it that's the best, but I can blatantly disagree with you. Why? Because this one, if you was to play through it 1,000 times, every time you would do something different. You know, it's a game that's special, ahead of its time. Really, all the games in the series is ahead of its time. But, and the best thing about it is the introduction of a little green dinosaur. Super Mario World, people. That's right. I may be 15, but I love this game. Super Mario World. There's so much that Super Mario World has that Super Mario Bros. 3 doesn't. A lot of people think Super Mario Bros. 3 is probably the best game in the Super Mario Bros. Series. That's your opinion, and I'm not going to argue about it. Because don't get me wrong, I love Super Mario Bros. 3, but Super Mario World, it's great. Yoshi, secret exits, a conjoined overworld, and, well, yeah. Let's not forget the special world either. While there really was only two levels in the special world I really enjoyed. The music there is just awesome. I mean, I know it takes a while, but if you wait a few minutes, it'll turn into classic Super Mario Brothers music. Now, Super Mario World didn't give up much from Super Mario Brothers 3. It gained a lot more, though. Like, they say it gave up so much that it just doesn't feel like Super Mario Brothers anymore. I can't see much of a difference. And yes, I realize Super Mario Brothers 3 isn't on my list, but I really haven't played it enough to be able to judge that. Now, Super Mario World, it's also kind of funny, because most of the places is named after food. Desserts, to be exact. Let me see. You have Donut Land, Vanilla Dome, Cheese Bridge, Butter Bridge, and the Chocolate Islands. Come on, man. It's an awesome game. The platforming action is wonderful. And every time you go through there, you're going to discover something new. Or something different. Maybe you've seen it before, but you just forgot about it. Who knows? But the thing is, number one platforming game for a lot of people, number one game for me. Now, before I end this list, I'm going to go ahead and talk about some of the games I considered. Now, you've actually already seen some of them. I had Perfect Dark, Banjo-Kazooie, and Super Mario 64 up for that. But get that out of the way. I actually don't have the cartridge with me, but I actually did consider Super Mario Brothers 3 for the list. And now, the Super Nintendo games I considered for the list. The one that you all were probably screaming about, Donkey Kong Country 2. Now, these first two I regret putting on the list. The first two I regret not putting on the list. The other two, I would probably regret it if I did put them on the list. The other one I regret not putting on the list, Zelda Link to the Past. Now, Donkey Kong Country 2 and Legend of Zelda Link to the Past were both great games, but I just didn't have enough room. Now, one that a lot of you are going to go, dun dun dun, or about, is a game that is known for being difficult. Extremely difficult. And I couldn't argue with you. Contra 3, The Alien Wars. Yes, Contra is difficult, but once you get past it, it's wonderful. It's a wonderful game by all means, but it was just too difficult to put on the list. And the other one, Super Smash. Super Smash TV. Now, you're thinking, a lot of people actually don't know about Super Smash TV. It really is a crying shame, because Super Smash TV is a great game, just not good enough to make it on the list. I'm sorry, but this is pretty much how it goes. If you've played through the game 3 times, you've seen everything. Now, here's some PlayStation 2, Nintendo GameCube games I considered for the list. And I probably should have brought Medal of Honor Frontline and Medal of Honor European Assault, because I considered those two, but I considered them very little. One that actually didn't make it on the list because of its difficulty, and I think I mentioned it earlier, Brothers in Arms Road to Hill 30. It was too difficult, and while it did have a great story, it just didn't have enough of the story. Which, you know, the story thing is what the problem is, the problems that Medal of Honor has. All the games. There is no story to them at all. Except, okay, you're a soldier. You need to do this, 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 and that. That's what Medal of Honor is. Another one that is not widely known, but I still considered it. Mace Griffin Bounty Hunter. Now, this is a slightly underdog game. It's not like it's, you know, not a lot of people know about it. I mean, 2 out of 4 people are going to know about this game. Or, yeah, about 2 out of 4 people in the gaming world will know about this game. But, you know, I just couldn't have enough fun out of it. It just wasn't fun enough to make it on the list. Another one, I'm going to go ahead and do all the PlayStation 2 games first. I'm not going to go into the 2 GameCube games until I get these out of the way. Another one that I considered being on the list was Come to the Dark Side. We have cookies. No, just kidding. Star Wars The Force Unleashed. This game was great. But, you know, going through it, it's just meh. After a while, it gets boring. Now, the 2 GameCube games I put on the list. One, I just have the disc for. I don't have the case for it. And, Paper Mario and the Thousand Year Door. This is probably the best RPG out there. And, you know, of course, being the best RPG out there is pretty good. You know, for those of you who don't know the definition of RPG, hold on. Screw it. I'm gonna go a couple more minutes. Shut up. Okay. A basic definition for RPG is, well, when you're in battle, you have your own stage, and you pick your attacks, and you go in turn. The other game, well, it's not an RPG, and it's not a platformer, it's still a great Mario game. Although not technically a Mario game. But that said, since it's on the Nintendo GameCube, you probably know what it is. Luigi's Mansion. And, why is it so great? Very simple. It's a game starring Luigi. Come on. A lot of people was asking for that, and when it was released, it didn't get much attention. Why, people? Why? It's a wonderful game. Except that, you know, a lot of people argue it's too short, but I liked it. I liked it enough to consider it for this list. And the only new generation game I really considered, while I did consider New Super Mario Bros. Wii a little bit, not as much as I did this one, Donkey Kong Country Returns. Now, with Donkey Kong Country Returns, you have the wonderful Donkey Kong Country action back. I mean, you know, you heard that. Hold on, let me just move all that stuff out of the way. You heard that they were coming out with a Donkey Kong game. An actual game, not a stupid music thing. Well, you probably reacted like, man, this is probably going to be like another Donkey Kong 64. You know, you think it's probably just a remodeled version of that game. But when you heard that there was a new Donkey Kong Country game coming out, you're like, I want it! I want it! And yes, I do realize I look like a total jackass. But, yeah, that's the list, people. I hope I can put this on YouTube. I hope it's not too long. Because I had that problem with a political video I tried to put on there, because it was like 25 minutes long. But, thank you for watching. Love you guys. No homo. And, I will be seeing you on YouTube.